Craig, shut the fuck up. I haven't heard anything. How about you go fuck yourself, Craig? Fucking bitch.
Mmm.
Mm.
Mmm.
Mm.
Bag of throat. There is an anus
Maybe like half throat.
with a bit of anus.
Just a bit. Just sprinkle a
Oh,
little bit of anus on there. Should we talk about butt plugs now or something? Would that be safe to talk about? Is a snake truly a throat bag though? I feel
Yes.
like it's I
That
feel
is
like it's
an odd word of what? What do you mean by throat? What?
well, a throat bag with an anus.
bag of throat.
A bag of throat with an anus.
Um,
Are we talking about shitting or shedding here?
We're all a little lobster.
There's a little lobster in all of us.
All paths lead to crap anyway.
last session, like narratively, not not necessarily a lot happened, but it was kind of the climax, if you will, of Act One, as you guys met within um another dark warehouse. And we had a split vision of the party where Malik and Serafina were coming in through the um had come in through the main door with the party goers, have four other party goers with them, and are being led under to the central kind of altar underneath this dark and bloody apparatus, and are being hooked up to it. Meanwhile, Luther and Oliver had snuck in separately, but now were together more or less, on watch from like more of a southern perspective from their kind of western perspective as they came in and got hooked up. So they were watching them get hooked up, and then Adrian and Siegfried with Pinky and Zombie snuck in kind of from the east door that they broke open with, Pinky's sleight of hand and whatnot. This apparatus of unmaking, the sanguine apparatus, as I called the session, was something designed to know the spells and react and use the spells and ciphers, if you will, of the unmaking of life and the composition of the universe and um, the rules of mortality in a lot of way. And it's alive. It shudders and reacts, and it sees you all as a threat to its own existence. And it begins to lash out with psychic fires and eye rays and summons a storm outside that causes terror amongst the partygoers in its own right. Luther is able to resist the evil eyeballs that open up around the apparatus and the voices that come into his head every single time last session, which was um, something that I thought was really powerful to kind of Luther's character and eventually what happens later on in the session. But Serafina and then Oliver are getting this fiery onslaught together as they toss uh, alchemist fires and turn them into these fireballs and things, and start to boil the blood and flesh of the sanguine apparatus away. Um, Adrian's using the spirits that this machine needs as well as his own, hauntings that follow him, to create baleful onslaughts, and his zombie rushes forward and is just using what bullets it has left from beforehand from its assault rifle to just lay into the sanguine flesh and black metal of the apparatus. And then Luther gives a charge towards the apparatus finally, and the four partiers that are hooked up near Malik and Serafina, in the central platform, are slowly being absorbed in the process of the apparatus defending itself. One is completely killed within the first few moments, and then Luther's able to charge forward and cut through with his kind of eldritch hand um, through the tentacle apparatus things that were attached to their heads and set them free, and then turns the apparatus himself, and his punches um, destroy, what's left of the thing as another fireball is let off by Seraphina. Siegfried's throwing his axe at it, cutting, a big welt into the metal itself. And as it's about to explode, uh, Luther is able to grab the coil structure. The you've seen these multiple times in scenes before. The one that's in here, this kind of power source, if you will. And he teleports across the city to, well, not actually too far. Like there's water actually, where there's really close by, but he specifically wanted to go closer to home. And his alien form is able to absorb the damage effortlessly, and save quite a few structures, blocks from probably dealing with some more physical fallout, if you will, from the destruction of this sanguine apparatus. So the party is split at the end of things, and there's sirens afar from authorities responding, screams close by from the partiers, running in fear from the storm and noises and whatnot that have happened. And as they escape, Dr. Current sacrifices his zombie and has him just kind of charge towards the arriving cops down the street to just kind of cause chaos in his own right. And give you guys a few more moments to actually get out of here before get out of there, I should say, before, the authorities begin arrests or more gunshots get fired because you guys obviously refuse, and, so on and so forth. But luckily, everyone other than Luther is able to reconvene at the dive bar that they saw down the street when they pulled in, called The Confession, where they said they would meet back at if they needed to. Malik, who was closest to the apparatus and its destruction and the things that were happening with it, he's covered in nastiness. And also from just falling unconscious in combat, he's wounded, he's shook. And so he goes off to the bathroom.
I hit it harder though.
Yeah, you did. You did. You very did. You very much did. And he's cleaning himself up and whatnot. And at this point, Siegfried locks eyes with this beautiful woman across the bar, Native American descent, and dressed like a Native American biker in a lot of ways. And she leads Siegfried out of the bar, and you guys just kind of follow him. And I think there was the implication that you guys saw something that was, leading him. Someone was going outside, but once you guys go outside, she's gone. She has magic abilities, guys. Nevertheless,
Wow.
then once you go outside, she leads you to Agent Bishop, who most of you know that have dealt with Orpheus in a more consistent sense, other than like Luther and Siegfried. The rest of you would probably know this man. He's worked with Sterling with you in the past on other things and whatnot. I need to remind myself of the one thing. He is a logistics guy. Like he doesn't like he's kind of an assistant to the people that like get you things and stuff, but he's Malik and Malik and Current, who's not here, and Serafina and Oliver, to a smaller degree, would always, most of the time when you see Mr. Sterling, Agent Bishop is around. He's one of like Mr. Sterling's like right hand guys that's like with him often. There's other agents that you work with that are there, but they're not like as consistently with Mr. Sterling, your handler, as Agent Bishop has been, and Agent Cruz, whom you guys saw killed in one of the previous things, was one of those other guys. But nevertheless, Agent Bishop has a disease, I guess is the easiest way to put it, I guess, for now. His eyes have this surrounding dark crystalline structures that are like pressuring around his vision and his senses, and um it's obviously magical. It's not normal in any way, shape, or form. And the easiest assumption was made that this is a response to the magical bursts that have happened from the apparatus and the coils and the ciphers that I'm making, and how the living people and structures of the city are still reverberating from the taint that's left behind. Um, and your own characters, because of trying to assist this guy, is kind of part of it, but also being around the apparatus, you all have gained the aforementioned taint for those things. So you guys were just overwhelmed trying to do. He was obviously fucked up. You were doing first aid things and other stuff. He was wounded. You appease the wounds more or less. He's not dying, but he's fucked up, and you guys were just like trying to figure out what to do. There's like chaos and sirens, and all of a sudden, Mr. Sterling just with his crazy car that he has, and he gets you guys to load up in the back. Like, I like to think it's like a weird hearse. I wouldn't be surprised like that he's like modified for Mr. Sterling, but nevertheless, I love the imagery of like, kind of like Adam's Family vibe a little bit too. Um, I love Adam's Family too. So besides the point, he drives you to a safe house in simplest terms. Your debt does go up because of that, just kind of passively. To kind of like get him to like arrange the deal of getting you to another safe place. It's a rundown like abandoned druggy house, like like it's not a nice place, this apartment. Like, if it probably isn't actually a working apartment, it's abandoned. It's probably just people come here to just like squat until the city decides to destroy it, is kind of the vibe. So, but it's off the beaten track, so to speak. Unlikely anyone's going to come here in the next 24 hours, so it gives you time to at least take a breath and get a rest and lay low for things. Agent Bishop squirms and is in pain, but he's stable. And so he's kind of dragged into a corner of the living room area of this nasty apartment, and there's probably a mattress that you kind of lay him on that part of it looks clean, and at least to lay him on. Grab a tarp that's like nearby on one of the windows, throw it over just to be safe, and you notice that as Mr. Sterling leads you guys in here with Serafina, Jurgen and Dr. Current, Pinky, whatnot follow thereafter. You see kind of taking the rear, if you will, after you, following you in, and then placing himself outside the door, is names. Agent Davies, and Agent Holt. Agent Holt comes in, and he like looks like he just arrived at the like within like a minute or so of you guys getting here from a different vehicle. With Agent Davies. Agent Davies takes a position outside the door as like guard, and Agent Holt has this big like doctor's bag Malik knows Agent Holt. Dr. Current does. The rest of you don't. He is a retired doctor-ish, something medical medic. Like he has a lot of medical experience. Where he has it, you're not exactly sure, but he's on the older side, to be sure. And definitely like 50s, 60s. Davies is much younger, like a young, like 25-year-old guy, new, like just out of the military, just joined the kind of situation. And Agent Bishop has been working with Orpheus for a while, like 5-10 years. Like he's pretty much the one that's you know dark-eyed and turmoiled. So they lay them out, and Agent Holt is yells out, "Hold him down! I think I need to sedate him." And like he's really like turning and moving and kicking and screaming. Like he's in Agent Bishop is in a lot of pain. So I would like a collaborative might check to for any of the who decide who's the lead, and someone and the rest of you can assist as you see to hold down Agent Bishop so that Agent Holt can sedate him.
Can I use faster, better, stronger, whatever the fuck I name the ability?
Does it give you a might bonus?
Yes.
Then yes, anything that gives you a might bonus you can use. Yeah.
Oh
This
boy,
is-
I love losing
it-
humanity.
This is out of combat, so you can apply +1s or +2s in lieu of warning rolling if you do have might at that appropriate level. For those things, but who is taking the lead on
I have
holding
might.
Agent Bishop down, and who's assisting?
I have might rank C and +2 to on top of that with my extra ability, if that influences anything.
You have a +2 ability modifier, so yeah, that's good. That's really good. Okay, so anyone else assisting with?
Do you use vitality for it?
This is vitality, yes.
So I would roll at a +5.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is a might vitality check to hold this guy down. He is
I've got vitality
going that
3 and might B. So I guess I'm in.
a B gives you a reroll once per scene, and up to 3 strain you can spend. C gives you up to 3 strain you can spend if you want. Gothic.
I think this being a
All right.
collaborative, I might actually make it worse.
You want to step back?
You might.
Yeah.
If it's worse, then stepping back might be optimal.
I think I'm gonna step
Jurgen
back.
is going to step out of the way. He feels like he's just in the way, obviously, and he's just like moving your big
Let me
case
roll
for your
this.
axe and mute and instrument off to a corner. Seraphina is just kind of like she doesn't know what to do. Like she's obviously a little bit in shock right now from what she's seen. And just like this guy, like what's around his eyes and whatnot. Seraphina is actually facing a fear right now. She's going to spend 2 spiritual strain to face her fear of the look on her face. Oliver is probably the one that would probably be most empathetic to what's going on with her in this current situation. She feels she has a like guilt, blame, like she's responsible for doing this to this guy. Like it's the look on her face. Like she looks like she doesn't have a dagger in her hand, but it looks like she's almost would hold a dagger that she just stabbed this guy with, and it's like that's not what happened to this guy, but that's like the look on her face. Mr. Sterling is just ignoring it and going, and he goes, and you see another agent in one of the bedrooms back there, and he's going to talk to that agent back there. You just hear another voice, and they're just talking logistics right now of like what comes next, where are we going, how much time do we have, and he's like running down like we got 24 hours. So I see
Love, is this life or death for this guy?
Yes, quite literally.
Okay, cool. Then this is gonna actually what is it?
Like
Death can be avoided.
the situation is in like the way he's moving, like he's about to go through like to go into a
Woo.
seizure kind of
Wait,
thing.
can I do two principles at once? Because this can be both
No.
death can be avoided and support everyone who needs it.
You only can do one per roll.
Uh, well, my core value for one is 3 and the other is 1. Which one do you think I should go for then?
Core value gives you 2d3, so my brain goes to that.
Okay, then support everyone who needs it. That's gonna go up to 4. You're not dying here. And then fucking press my hand down on him or however I would need to hold him, I guess.
Okay.
With my 8.
Luther, Siegfried,
Oh, Luther ain't
Oliver.
here.
Oh, that's right. Thank you for the reminder. My
Otherwise,
brain.
he would be taking the lead.
Yeah, he
You
would.
said
So Siegfried and Oliver, what are you doing? As
Wait.
they're trying to hold him down.
wait, you said
Like
2d3?
Siegfried's helping. Siegfried's helping. I'm sorry. Oliver, what are you doing? Word.
He's stepping back.
All right, he's stepping back. Stand. Okay, cool. Just getting imagery in my brain.
Wait, Love, you said 2d3 for that?
A core value gives you 2d3. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Press enter. There we go. 2. Oh my god.
Oh, so
So
Still a
10.
10.
I rip off my sleeves and swole myself with my own psychic abilities. I can do this now.
As a reminder, if you're assisting, you want to be as close to their number as possible, or you make things worse.
Oh.
So Greed's
Who's
at a
the-
5 right now.
I'm pumping 3 straight into it.
Sorry. I mean, I could take away the strain I pumped into it, so
No,
neither of us
no.
lose any.
It's more fun this way.
Okay.
This game is supposed to make us struggle.
Okay,
Struggle.
so you're both.
I thought it was supposed to look cool.
You're both
That
coming
too.
in.
The struggling is part of it.
You're coming in at a what?
I'm at a 10 and Frog's at an 8, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. So who's leading?
I am, I assume.
Okay, cool. So with Frog's assistance, that comes in at an 11, which is
Like,
more than enough for Holt to come in there and get in to, give him a sedative. As Agent Bishop kind of holds, and he calms immediately down and like settles more. You can kind of like let go of your grip when you feel ready. And the Agent Holt kind of nods and is able to actually like start to look him over a little bit more. And he is kind of just has this very pensive, kind of confused look on his face. And by that point, Mr. Sterling has finished his conversation with the other agent in the bedroom, and he comes down the hallway over the creaky boards, and he's looking over Agent Holt and Malik's shoulder, kind of facing Siegfried and Oliver and Serafina and Dr. Curran are standing around. I imagine Pinky's near the foot of Agent Bishop, who's now calm on the floor over the mattress, with that kind of questioning look towards Dr. Current, and Dr. Current shakes his head, like, not yet, and Pinky gets really sad. He's not dead yet.
Question: Does Grandma look like she really needs a hug right now?
Grandma looks yes, sure. You think giving
Yeah,
her
she's
a
getting
hug
a
would be-
hug. No words. only
From
hug.
Siegfried's point of view, I feel like he would give her a hug.
Absolutely.
She doesn't like lean into it, but she doesn't push you away by any means. She from this, but Mr. Sterling finally breaks the silence. Is he all right? Agent Holt looks over. He needs a hospital. And you can see that he didn't want to say those words, and Mr. Sterling gives him that look like, that's not fucking happening right now. And he is just
Yes.
and Agent Holt looks over. Dogs. 1 second.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt, but I was gonna be like, man, too bad you guys don't have a giant man to assist in holding this guy down. Because I can just
Nah.
I naturally just can get a +8 on any might check I want.
Just cause.
Nah, they got the little man.
Agent Holt looks over at Mr. Sterling and just kind of shakes his head. I don't know what else to do. I've made him stable, but whatever this is acting very fast. And then Mr. Sterling finally takes a moment and looks over all of you, kind of hunkered around. Where's Luther?
Shrugs. Like, says nothing but just shrugs.
I legitimately don't remember where he went, actually.
He teleported away. So yeah, you literally don't know where he
Like,
went.
like some of you, like Serafina, who was close to where Malik was, and Malik was unconscious. He was being attended to a little bit. Serafina mumbles something, and Sterling looks over to her like, and what? And Serafina speaks up. I think the explosion killed him. He was there, and then there was nothing left of him afterwards.
Malik's eyes would go wide here and that. Fuck. Wait, do I still have to hold this guy down? Are we still holding him down?
No,
or-
he's sedated. He's kind of calming down a little
All right,
bit.
Malik's gonna start pacing around the room then. Thoughts are gonna swirl around for a bit.
Well, let's not make assumptions just yet, my lady. Luther is surprisingly resilient. And he shakes his head. Let's Davies. He goes to the door, opens the door, talks to Agent Davies, and basically tells Agent Davies to go to find Luther and go to the if trace, go back to the scene of the explosion, see what you can find there. If you don't find anything, if you find something, report back. If you don't find anything, then go home. Go to his home. You see what's going on there. And Davies just gives an affirmative, and Mr. Sterling comes back to you all and sees the kind of look of shock, but then his head kind of tilts off to the side a little bit. You all look different. Beyond
would've-
just exhausted. And then Agent Holt says, "Oh, fuck," and you guys turn around, and Bishop starts to seize. He just starts to just violently, and Agent Holt is like checking over him, trying to turn him, do the thing. He's horrendous kind of seizure going on, and you all kind of gather around and do what you can from those briefest moments, but it's his body just gives out within a few seconds. You can't even do much of anything other than grab him before he just stops. And Agent Holt just holds his head down and looks at his watch and clocks in his own medical kind of way. Doesn't say it aloud, but the time of death kind of thing is what he obviously is doing. And Mr. Sterling says, "Well, I think I need some answers. And so I understand where best to send you and how best to react to this. Agent Bishop was an excellent, excellent Orpheus agent. So was Agent Cruz. 2 of our agents killed within less than 2 days. Orpheus, is Orpheus being targeted? There's another complication to this. So, Agent Holt, take care of Bishop for now and call the local hospital and let's get him a police private in the morgue. Pay Lori the normal rate, and the rest of you, let's have a sit down. I need to understand why some of you don't exactly smell human anymore. And what happened here in the first place?
The fuck you
Second.
mean not human?
Malik, you have
I?
something on your shoulder.
Malik's gonna look over at his shoulder, like, what the fuck?
Yes. You can describe because it's your idea.
Oh, okay.
What does Malik see, and the rest of you finally see kind of coming out of his shirt?
Okay, so from like the middle of the right side of the collarbone, like directly from where the bone looks like it would come out, sprouting from it would be this cyan, like tendril, very thin.
A collarbone.
Yeah, it's coming out of the collarbone. So it
That's
like
a very
is it just
interesting choice.
wait, love, is this the first time it's coming out or is it just like hanging out already?
This is like the plant blooms somewhere in the last hour, and you're like, "What the fuck?" You know?
Oh, so it's sprouting. Okay. So, like a few inches out would be the cyan little tendril slightly wiggling like a little creature that's like trying to get into my shirt. Malik is just gonna stand there like, oh, what the fuck? And start wiping at it like it's a bug, trying to get it off.
Wait,
It's-
Mr. Sterling would say, "Don't, we don't know what it is yet."
I already swiped it off like 4 times. Oh, okay, but what the fuck is this? Am I infected with something? Did I get it from touching him? Pointing at the dead guy now. It's sad that he's dead, but
Sterling just shakes his head like he doesn't know the answer to either one of those questions.
God damn it, Sterling.
All right, the rest of you, that was he looks over at each of you and he notices that there's an extra pressure and extra dark circles around your eyes or whatever the case is, but and he brings you over to the other side of the room so Agent Holt can do his thing to kind of prepare the body. And he turns to you all and says, "Do the rest of you have any strange mutations that have happened?
Fucking better if I have
We
this.
should
I don't
probably
know.
have a look over and see what has."
Do we have any kind of examination room or something? I don't know if this is the right kind of place for this.
Shut
Should
up
we be
and take off
quarantined?
your shirt.
I don't think we have time for that right now.
If it's contagious, don't you think we're all already infected? I mean, look at this shit, pointing at his collar.
Does it like flick when you do that? Like it wiggles?
Yeah, it's wiggling like a little guy.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
I picture Pinky is trying to get to a vantage point to see the strange thing that is coming
New
out
friend?
of Alex' shirt.
New friend?
He's like awkwardly climbing up on one of the kitchen table on the kitchen counter, nearby where
Still
you are.
amazed I think he hasn't died yet.
No, he eventually will, but it's okay.
Don't you
Mr.
dare!
You have
Mr.
to wait till the
Sterling
climax.
will turn to Oliver and say, "We will need time to set up a proper quarantine with how the city has been destabilized. For now, why don't each of you go to the bathroom? There's a mirror in there." The way he says mirror, he questioned if it's actually a mirror himself. But
Because he can't see, he doesn't know.
uh, there's a mirror in there. Look yourselves over, and the rest of you, while we wait for each other, let's break down what happened tonight. So I know
A lot.
he nods his head. Siegfried, give me your version of it while
On Greed's behalf, because we determined it in chat. On Greed's behalf, you'll see his eyes are a mix of a molten gold and a dark purple swirling in both of his eyes.
so he doesn't even see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't looked in the mirror since.
So I imagine as Mr. Sterling waits for your answer and you look over at him, he kind of he doesn't like take a step back, but he kind of like his torso leans back in response is like, what am I seeing? He's trying to understand. And you see his response, Siegfried, and you know something about your face, and before you can you can respond further than that, he says, "Your eyes have changed, sir."
Day one.
Seraphina looks and is like, "Oh my god!" And she goes to her purse and grabs out a small mirror from her compact, and you see what you just described.
When Siegfried looks into a mirror, he just goes, "Oh my various gods. This is scary, but also kinda awesome."
I think Seraphina would chuckle at you. That response. Just like over, it's just like kind of first thing knocking her out, like what you're awesome about this strange thing that's going on.
I mean, look at my eyes. It's like a nebula.
But you don't know what that means.
Oliver is sort
Yeah,
of starting
but
to
so much
walk up
weird
to you and
shit
like
has happened.
looking direct, like hearing into your eyes, just sort of like not looking into your eyes, but like looking at the effect of it, like almost as though you're not a person right now, just like a thing to look at. Just trying to follow the pattern or whatever is happening in it.
Getting a little close, pretty boy.
Did you just call him pretty?
They are beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, I can kind of see it.
I imagine Dr.
what's
Current
meaning
is
for
the
this?
first to go in the bathroom while you guys are talking, just for the sake of the narrative.
Examination.
And he's in there. Pinky follows him in there, and he's gone for a few minutes. So, Siegfried, your eyes have changed. What did those eyes see tonight? Give me, I don't know, bullet points?
I don't even know where to begin. There's this thing. What's this thing? With fire. And I threw an axe at it. And it made me bleed. It was the weirdest thing thus far, and that's saying something.
But it's destroyed?
It was like another one of the spires, but different, bigger, worse, made of people, I guess.
It was eating people.
It was made of people?
That's what I got
Pretty
from
sure
it,
it was
anyways.
eating them.
I mean,
That's fucked up, man.
it wasn't just a machine anymore. It was a machine with some kind of flesh.
And then, although Malik is cleaned up, quote unquote, he's still like
I am very
covered.
fucked.
Like you guys, like he's like his clothing's caked in blood. Like his white
My
coat,
clothes are scorched.
his white coat is scorched and covered in blood.
I mean, the blood on you, we don't know if it was human, but it could be, it was alive. That's what it was.
Can we
During
just go
this,
back to the
Oliver has
hideout? I'm worried about the kid.
He's at a hospital.
Oh, so she was taken to the hospital. I think.
Yeah,
was
we
just
did.
missing
Yeah,
that.
You got
Yeah.
her to a hospital on your way to the event.
Okay, man. Must have spaced out then.
That was like in game 3 or 4 hours ago by this point.
weeks ago
You
for us.
guys, yeah,
Time
you
is
guys are,
convoluted in Orpheus.
yeah.
Eh,
It's a game. Time is not important. Only life is important. Um, Dr. Current comes out, and I think he would lie, and you would all know he was lying.
Oh, yeah.
That would be
He
the
would-
just.
I immediately was thinking, like,
Dude,
yeah, I'm fine. I got nothing. Nothing's wrong with me.
Nothing's happening
Right,
here.
Pinky?
And you see Pinky hold up a finger and be like, but he can't speak, so he just walks. And then he just like, so
Yeah, so I
that's
think it's only you bozos who got issues with you. Me, perfectly good.
I wouldn't say you don't have any issues.
Okay, no, I don't have any physical issues. We're not talking about my past right now. Okay, I got enough of that from the big guy who's not even here right now. Okay, but no,
Yeah,
none of that.
Pinky spits and gives you a
Whatever.
look, Malik, like I'm gonna cut you. Like you say that
I
again.
I absolutely adore her. It's so tight with Benton. You can accurately play his character.
The little
Yeah,
cyan
that's
thing is like
really
wiggling
good.
at Pinky as they go and do that. Top
I
side
love-
wiggling.
I love it. I love
No, rattlesnake wiggling.
Well,
Glorious.
Serafina goes in the bathroom and thereafter, and well, Oliver or
Huh?
Malik.
The entire time, Oliver is also like just absent-mindedly. He's been like itching all over. He's wearing a bunch of layers and everything, but you can see that he's like uncomfortable and he doesn't even realize it. That's all.
Well, Oliver, you're safe now. Just give me what you saw, so possibly I could. He gives Siegfried a look of like frustration, so I could understand a little bit more of this thing. Was it one of the coils? It sounds like it was. You said Spire, but the others
Yeah,
were more
it was
mechanical, and he said it was alive, and
it
Why is
was
he looking at me, the
different.
guy who understands the least?
It was like the other coils, but it was more active. There were more people. It was like Malik said, it was eating people, but at the same time, it itself was alive. It fought us. It actively had agency of itself. It summoned storms and bled and screamed like it was
They
alive.
tried to steal my move.
And there's one other thing. The area that it was in. There was a party happening and there was music and these people in robes with like glass diamonds on their heads. I don't know what it was, but they seem to be the ones in charge of it.
He shakes his head just more kind of confused at that. And Seraphina comes out, and Seraphina, I need to think more on what hers is, her mutation. But it has something to do with no, the idea came to mind right now. She has um kind of redone her hair and like quickly goes to her purse area where she set things aside and pulls out a little shawl thing that she had wrapped up there and like wraps it over her head, and she says, I'm losing my hair. It has coming out when I started to brush it in there. She just kind of shakes her head, just kind of lost and angry and in pain herself at that idea. She has, full head, full locks kind of thing. So, and you see chunks kind of like on the side and top of her head that she's like covering with the shawl as you guys stare at her, and it makes her sort of anxious. Well, Mr. Sterling nods. The rest of you go investigate and see if there's any changes. I'm going to make a few calls. I'll need to go to the bar down the street to make some calls. There's not a phone here, so I'll be back 30, 40 minutes. And hopefully Davies will have some answers towards Luther. He gets up, starts to make his way to the door, and as he opens the door, it's open like a crack, and there's like this gust of wind, and you hear a scream in simplest terms, I guess. But it sounds, it's not like a help me scream. It's kind of like a like you got hit by something really hard scream.
Oh.
And like a wince maybe is the better word. And Sterling like flings open the door, and he's just like gone in a split second. He's just like running for those things towards the noise. It is obvious by Agent Holt's immediate response thereafter, and then the other agent down the hall who's coming out drawing his gun. Agent Holt's the first to speak. Davies, and like recognizes the voice and is following thereafter. I need, and you don't have to. Like Seraphina isn't going to. Jurgen is not going to. Dr. Current is going to send Pinky. Dr. Current is going to stay here. This is mostly a narrative choice for Dr. Current, but the other two, like 100%, they're too shook. They're not gonna go. But Pinky starts to run following Holt's going out. The other agent who is down the hall in the bedroom preparing things just is following with a gun drawn after Agent Holt. Malik would recognize this other agent. The rest of you would not know him. But this is names. Oh no, the rest of you would know him. I forgot what this is. This is Agent Gable, who's the asshole.
Oh, the racist guy.
Yeah, the racist guy. He's very ex-military guy. He's coming out.
I
Following.
remember.
Yes. And the rest of you who would like to or think your character would. It's not a requirement by any means, of course, because Sterling would come back eventually, you presume, but you can roll a speed check to try to see what is happening before anything happen before further events if you want to. And then while you guys roll and decide your speed check, I want to jump to Luther for a few moments.
Wait, what is the speed check with by chance?
This
Or just with speed?
No, this is okay. Yeah, you're good point. This is speed with athletics. I also could argue.
Ooh.
I also could argue investigation from the perspective of like you taking a different route to try to get there sooner, try to figure out a shortcut, you know? So it's still physical, but you're more like using your brain rather than you're just straight huff to get there. Is kind of the idea. So it's like because there is like this is a very like broken down apartment structure that has lots of little nooks and crannies and ins and out and different like little hallways and things that you could manipulate to that effect. But
Malik,
yeah. So it's still with speed the derived stat, but you could use either athletics or investigation as your skill.
am I still benefiting from my boost I just used a little bit ago? Or do I have to spend more humanity for it?
This
Oh yeah,
is
is this a new scene?
this is the end of that scene I'm gonna call. So yes, you still are active with that.
All right, then. Yeah, I'm good. Malik's definitely running after him with all their extra power.
Okay.
Speed. Do I
So
roll?
this is going to be um speed is a derived stat. So it's
My speed is 2, but I'm getting another 2 because of my
yeah,
boost. All right, there we go. That's a
athletics.
4.
Sterling is going to use his reroll. That was worse. Okay. He will use his
Oh yeah, athletics C.
plus.
I'm not using any strain for that.
He'll use his +2.
Wow.
So that will give him.
A lot.
And then he's going. He's going to.
Oliver
He gets a
trying to hobble
+2
after.
to this.
He's curious.
Stealth plus dexterity, yes?
No, it's speed. The actual your speed stat itself.
Yeah.
It's a derived stat.
It's like where acuity and toughness.
It uses
For
the
melee.
same math as your melee attack, so it's technically the same bonus as your melee attack. But, to come to that conclusion.
Really?
Okay.
Why is my melee higher than my speed then? What the fuck?
Do you have are you a soldier with like background in melee or something?
No.
There might be another
Oh.
reason. I don't know.
Let me look at my stats.
But speed is derived from vitality and dexterity, the same as melee attack is derived from vitality and dexterity. Ranged attack, however, is derived from perception and dexterity. So, but nevertheless, all right. So, Mr. Sterling activates for the dead travel fast, his mastery B, and his passive rank 3 allow him basically to turn into mist in simplest terms, like speedy wind, and just kind of like arrive there. And the other agents are running after and they are just humans doing their thing. Where you guys have a telekinetic that can give you speed, and then the rest of you are human. So more or less when it comes to this idea. So your final number, Malik, is a 4.
Yeah, I don't have the fiscal
Okay.
strain to,
No, yeah, that's fine. A 4, and then we have a 2 from Oliver, the 2 from Siegfried.
I gotta use that shit sparingly. So I'm gonna
No,
wait
yeah, you
until
got where
somebody
you
needs
guys are at
healing.
right now. I 100% understand.
Everyone's real
Okay.
tired.
So, like, it's really just how much time it takes you to get there, right? It's kind of those things. But to witness certain things. So where? Okay. You guys. The last bit of information before we jump to Luther is, coming to this alleyway behind the apartment structure, kind of nearby its like trash heap area. Broken down buildings, burnt down, and just like, you know, crap everywhere. Is in kind of the alleyway street, kind of central to it, is Agent Davies' body nearby his car, uh, and Mr. Sterling's knelt over talking to him, having been here already a few moments with his insane speed. He got the equivalent of a 12, is what he got, by spending 2 humanity.
Outstanding.
So with for the dead travel fast works. So
What has
uh,
he been doing this whole time, huh?
Yeah, where's our backup?
He's like talking to Agent Davies, who's wounded on the ground, right next to Malik. Soldiers is how they're just very athletic. Agent Holt and Agent Gable kind of arrive just after Malik with his kind of speediness, to hear kind of the tail end of the conversation, and then those three hear the hobbled footsteps of Oliver. And I imagine with the same number, like Siegfried gets turned and distracted by Oliver and is like, okay, fine, I'll help you. And just kind of like, kind of like moves you guys to that idea. And you guys come to that like scene watching Mr. Sternly over Davies. He's obviously known this man for a long time. There's a sense of emotional brotherhood that's there, and people are kind of giving them space, you think, for the immediate moment. And while we pause there, we will turn to Oliver. I mean, not Oliver, Luther.
Wronger.
Wronger. We'll turn.
Sanity.
Oliver.
We'll turn to Luther, who's basically on the other side of the island by this point, who I imagine has woke up in the water, like partially like unconscious for a few moments, and like shake it off, and you're like fine, and you have this like broken, dilapidated like rock metal thing in your hand that exploded. Do you toss it in the river, or do you swim it up with you when you swim back to the shore?
Oh, it's coming with me.
Okay. You easily, it takes time, but with your immense size and insane strength, it really, the average person would have taken like half the, double the time you did, to kind of swim to shore and just get there. You're exhausted. You've been through some stuff, but you're not at the same time because you have that like alien endurance about you that's just like beyond human. And you drag up this piece of things, and it's probably as big as your fist. It's and by this point, and it's once you're able to like get a better view at it from the street light that's nearby, as you kind of hunker on the craggy kind of beachhead for a second, it is like a melted gemstone that's been like housed in this bronze metallic kind of cage, and those two things, the cage itself is also melted and broken. It doesn't seem like there's anything about it other than it's a piece of stone, an organic material by this point. But there's obviously an idea of magic to it that someone might be able to do more with, but it's inert, you know. You kind of begin to get your bearings and you realize you're a few miles away from home, on one of the beachheads that you probably have walked by many times to, in your younger years, do a delivery with, a odd jobs that you would have at the time when you were still part of gang life and whatnot. Definitely not a nice neighborhood, but definitely feels more home than where you were. Like, it's recognizable, and that I think is a little comforting at first to Luther. And he can meander through the streets back to his warehouse and workshop. He could go home. He could meander himself back to the financial district in the central part of town and connect back with Mr. Sterling and the others eventually. Find a phone that maybe still works and give a call to anyone that, that would be the closest option. You eventually could go down a couple blocks and get to a busy enough street to maybe hail a cab, but with everything going on in the city, you're not sure how much that will be, how many cabs are actually like working right now, so to speak, right? So Luther, foggy head, but unwounded. Where does he go next?
So to add to it all, while he is looking at the apparatus under the light of a street lamp, he also has shifted back to his normal form, but he notices that the hand, his right hand, holding the damaged apparatus, is not fully reverting back to normal flesh and skin, that parts of it are still, even though faint, it's noticeable enough with only a few seconds of looking. Those cosmic like scales that adorn his entire body when fully shifted are still there and are unchanging no matter how much he tries to will it back. To which he resolves himself of what this means for later, as he settles to make his way home, as that's the only place he wants to be right now.
He's gonna need a really big glove.
I mean, well, he's a mechanic, so that's not.
Yeah. But still. Okay, so you go. I'm sorry, that one word I missed because my dog. You go where?
Home.
Okay, so you meander through the streets. Power is partially on here and there. The grid is obviously still messed up. The people are obviously up at hours they're not normally. There's odd conversations and tension from different buildings that you pass by, arguing about what's happened to the city and what's not. You hear a slew of sirens in the distance. obviously continuously responding to, uh, you know, injuries in the aftermath of this, and it doesn't take you too much time, but I would say an hour, less than an hour. So those are around the same time the group is kind of like eventually finding their um selves to kind of like talk to Sterling more or less. This is kind of happening simultaneously. And you find that your house is dark. There's no power whatsoever. The door is like wide open. The front door is wide open, and uh, there's trash and stuff near on the front street that you don't recognize that was been tossed around, and you kind of rush inside and look around, and there's no one on the first floor. You kind of go back to the kitchen and area and go to the other room in the back, or like the washing area, and then go to the upstairs to the bedrooms, and don't really find Lori or Martin or even Willie, who you said to kind of keep an eye on your family the last you spoke to him. Where do you go?
Fuck.
I just rolled a luck check for you, and it was a -3. So
No,
Oh my
no,
god.
no.
Sick.
That's fucking fair. Um,
Luther goes and dies in a ditch. Never to be seen again.
no shit. I hope I'm remembering his name right. I want to look it up for Sal, not Saul. Sal. For some, uh, I want to say he runs off to Sal's place. That like, if anywhere, hopefully. As much as he's not really cool with the guy, that's still family. It's still family in a way.
Okay. It's a couple blocks down the street from your workshop, so decent. No, not too far, but like 20 minutes, I imagine. Walk. Yet again, greeted by the torrent of the people of the city as they deal with the aftermath of what has happened these last few nights, especially with the obvious, like, weird, um, you know, Luther didn't see what happened to Agent Bishop, but and like the crystal eyes and stuff, but like I guess like people that are sick and things like different response. Like there's a lot of people that are injured and sick more than like the physical things that happen in the city would make sense for. Like it wasn't like an earthquake and shit, like there was. So it was the lights went out and stuff, but there's a lot of people that seem injured, I think is what you would notice if nothing else. And um you make your way down to the street, and like a block or so out from his workshop, Sal's workshop, you find his cronies and buddies, like a group of like a half dozen or so of them, standing outside kind of the main entrance. That's like you have to like drive a little bit ways to get back there and whatnot, and they're like hunkering down. It's obvious, like he's Sal's very much, as we've discussed before, wrapped up in the gang life, and this is like where his men hang out, where his that's is this place at the same time. A lot of them work here, but it's also like their base, if you will, in a lot of ways. So you have like them all kind of like eventually get really quiet as you walk down the street towards them. And the bravest of the bunch kind of walks up, chest out, and is just like, "What you want?" And doesn't let you pass. Like, you could easily pass, but he's like basically saying you can't with where he put himself.
Options.
I think. Mm, you know what? I think this man needs a luck check for himself. Okay, yeah, Luther puts his fucking whole ass hand on his head and just shoves him to the side.
The guy flings back like 6-7 feet and just pummels almost to his butt. The others are like, "What the fuck?" And they're like reacting, and then you hear a voice like echo over them all, that you know to be your wife's voice, that says, "Stop it, you motherfuckers!" And you know who the fuck he is. I told you he was coming, and you fucking little Jimmy, what the
Jimmy.
what do you think you're doing? She looks
Their
over at you,
actual mom.
Luther, with "What do you think you're doing?" is like directed at you, but she's saying it at Jimmy because she knows that Jimmy's stupid. But she knows you're the one that shoved him back at the same time, and she softens as she realizes you're okay and like everything's going on, but she's a little annoyed by the whole situation. And she's like, "Go get him up, you morons!" And they gather over to Jimmy, who's got flung on his ass, and Lori comes over to you and gives you the biggest hug, and like just like your huge body like melts over her like a blanket in a lot of ways, but she is just like so happy you're alive and okay. And it's like a long enough hug that Jimmy and the other three all just like awkwardly walk away because they're like, okay, cool. And then once they're like far enough away, she pulls you down for like the kiss of your last like century. Like she is just like, and then she, it doesn't hurt you, but she's angry. She punches you as hard as she can in the ribs to say, "Motherfucker, you couldn't. What the hell has happened?"
I'm not where other people can hear. I
She finally sees your hand and is just like a little shook. Okay. She looks around and there's this little like storage unit, like where they keep a bunch of tools and shit, real close by, and she runs over there and like it's locked. Luck checks are not in your favor. It's locked, but she doesn't get a bad luck check on finding something to break the lock, and she 100% just it doesn't even know think, just and you hear like the other boys being like, "What the hell is she doing? Should we go tell Sal?" Yeah, go tell Sal. And like one of the guys runs off, and she ignores it all and just comes into the room and closes the door and like pushes like an old tire in front of the door and is just like, "What the hell happened to you?" "Oh, Martin's he's in the other room." But
oh my god.
you need to. If it wasn't for Sal, Martin, he wouldn't. He got himself in some shit, and Sal helped him get out of the shit. So we owe Sal, and you know what that means. But what is? She like gets so overwhelmed. She like looks back at your hand and like she is scared to grab it for a second, but then looks at you with that like pain in your eyes, and she grabs it anyway, and is just like is expecting it to like something bad to happen. When nothing bad happens, it's just your hand. It's just not your hand, and she's just like, "Are you? What happened?" And she finally just shuts up. She's a woman that doesn't shut up very often, but she finally just listens.
You know, I would never do anything to hurt you or Martin, right?
He like grabs your hand and like affirmation, and you don't feel the same way with that hand. Like it doesn't. It's not. It. You feel the pressure, but you don't like feel it. If that makes sense. It's like you're wearing a metal glove, you know, kind of thing.
I don't know how much. I don't even know where to start. Look, there was a client. He came in a few days ago. Bit weird of a man, but he just wanted some things about his car fixed. Simple, easy. But then, after Martin went missing, the man said he knew a way to help and was even willing to throw in some money on the side.
So he recruited Martin?
No, someone else did. Someone worse.
Martin's shook by it. Like almost confirming that it's worse because like, you know, in her own mind, because you can tell by the look on her face, she's really like she's worried for Martin. Like what he's seen the last 2 days has really shook your son.
I don't. No. No. You can handle it.
Handle what?
Everything that's currently happening in the city, all this chaos. Someone dragged Martin into it. Only slightly, just as someone to move things around. But the ones responsible for it, there's another side of the world that you don't know about. A side of the world that I only partially know about, but never wanted to I never wanted to get you involved in any of it. But because of him taking their offer, I got dragged into it, and I got him away from it for a second, but there was still more to do because they were trying to destroy the city. Literally trying to bring about supernatural forces.
If your hand wasn't like obviously not human, she would be screaming you're fucking insane right now by the look on her face. Like she is like she sits back and is really processing what she's seen over the last couple days, and the look on her son's face that you haven't seen yet, and then the look that you have in your hand. And I
But I didn't want.
She just shakes her head. She has tears in her eyes. She's just like so overwhelmed and confused.
There's, it's dangerous, but I think for right now we got managed to stop the worst case scenario from happening. I don't know how much more could happen. I mean, this is some shit that only happens in the movies. That type of thing. And I don't know if there's one more thing just about me, but I don't. Can you promise me that you understand that the man before you is still and has always been the man that you fell in love with? That nothing is different?
How could I love a monster?
He takes a moment, obviously, to just kind of breathe and understands I don't know, the pressure of what you're saying, I guess. And she nods and
He raises the hand. This, I wouldn't tell you if it wasn't for this. You know I don't know my mother. Just my father. And I still don't know her or much about her. But
Martin's gonna.
I don't. No, I don't think so. The what I am, what I really am, manifested well before his age. I don't. And he, I'll spend the, nah, fuck it. I'll spend, the 2 humanity for it, but I want to only partially shift just the arm that has the mutation on it to its full Nephilim form and shift it right back after a few seconds. I'm not exactly fully human. And there's a part of me that hides beneath the skin.
How long have you known?
Since I was a kid. I never wanted you to see me as that. I only wanted you to see me as the man not the monster. And I certainly never want Martin to see it either. Because you both deserve good, normal lives.
I don't know what you want me to do with this, Luther. You've lied to me for 16 years about something that you knew partially about that could affect our son. You don't even know what it's going to do to him. And who's to say that it already hasn't done something to him? I love you, Luther, but I don't know what to do next.
Uh, I didn't know. I never knew how to even begin bringing it up. I,
How would you? I'd be ridiculous to not acknowledge that in some ways, but I agree with that, I can say, but I don't agree with hiding anything else from us. I'm not saying right now is the right time to say anything to Martin about this, but he needs to know. He needs to know something. Yeah.
you're, you're right. I'm sorry. I just. My father. He told me never to let anybody know, and I'm just.
I
I'm
now
just.
want what kind of mother leaves this for their son to deal with in the dark? No.
Look, I was.
We left that dark life. And I'm not getting sucked back into it because some fucking. She gets angry and their tears welling up in her eyes. She stares at the magic that she doesn't fucking understand. She has to spend two. I'm gonna have her spend 2 mental strain, to face her fear. She wrestles with this right now. Um,
Look,
we need answers, right? You hear a knock on the door, motherfucker. Leave us alone. Sal wants to talk to you two. And guy walks away. Uh,
look, I'll tell Martin when things are a bit more calm. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all this. I was afraid. I love you. I love you both, and I don't want either of you thinking less of me. That's why I never said anything. And just hoped that nothing would happen. Maybe I'm a fool for hoping.
Luther, I've shared most of my dark past with you. You should know by this point that I'm not going to judge you for nothing.
I
Not
think
unless you do something that harms our family or.
I think slinging drugs and, assault and battery is not on the same level of having a cosmic entity being your mother. I don't think those are quite
Well,
the
give me a
same.
fucking bone here. I'm trying to understand, right? I'm trying to, because I don't love this. She gestures towards your hand. I don't love that. Like, that's not what I fell in love with. It was this. And she puts her hand on your chest. It was your heart. It was your spirit. It's what helped me get out of that darkness and that meant something. So, no. Am I angry at you? Fuck yes. If you lie to me again, am I gonna fucking chop off your other hand? Yes. But I'm here with you. That's why we said the words. So, let's go see what the fuck Sal wants. You need to tell him thank you. Anything else than that, just ignore the motherfucker. He saved your son's life tonight. Right?
Oh
And
yeah.
without his help, I don't know what we would have done. I didn't know where you were. And it's not like I could get a hold of you by any means with what was going down. And all right. She stands up and kind of gives you a kiss on the cheek, if nothing else, than to just confirm for you that she's angry at you but still loves you. And she goes to the door and, like, with her anger, if nothing else, moves the big thing out of the way that you put there, that she had you like shoved there just to like, oh, let some anger out. And she opens the door, and there's a group of his gang members kind of hanging around, and she's just like, you guys just whatever, shakes her head, storms past them all, and you guys go to, the main workshop.
I will say, is it fine to say Luther's bought some extra large gloves and puts those on?
Roll me a luck check.
Okay.
Let's see if the luck's finally in your favor.
Well, fucking see. I'm just gonna use my memento mori on that because I don't want to deal with the consequences. So it's just a
No, you don't
two.
want Sal to know you're an alien? Come on.
It's just Sal.
It's just
There can be
Sal.
some
Like,
random stuff in the shed,
that's
like
true.
some overalls, workman
Uh,
gear.
all right. So you use your momentum mori. All right. Get a +2. So you find both gloves, and there's no holes in them. So it doesn't look awkward like you're just wearing one. Uh, it still looks awkward that you're just all of a sudden wearing gloves, but I love the imagery. Uh, so you take an extra second following after your wife, and trail across the yard to the workshop. Sal has families back there in like the main room, of his men that are all like bunker style, like hanging out here in like a central place. Um, all the doors are basically closed and whatnot, and there's people on the phone inside, like talking to people, like getting information about what the city is, like hanging up the phone, picking up someone else. Oh, my turn, let me call, kind of thing. And Sal's kind of in the back, just like with a big beer in his hand, on, back by one of the tables, just slowly sipping on a beer. Um, Martin, you don't even see him when you first come in the room. He just kind of is there and He's next to his mom, and he's not sure what to do with you, but he kind of looks at you with that look like, I'm glad you're here, but he doesn't say anything. Lori kind of gives you that look like, you know, do something, prove, act kind of thing, and then walks away to Zell.
Um, Luther would give his son a reassuring nod before turning his attention to Sal, and would reach out his hand, saying, "Thank you for finding Martin and keeping him safe here."
You're welcome. You look like you've seen more hell of this city tonight than most of us have. Care to share what the fuck's going on? Like, Lori
So,
gives you that look like, are you gonna tell him anything, kind of.
so everything going on is 20 times above your pay grade. You sitting on your ass here drinking beer? This is where you belong. What's happening out there? That ain't something you should be worrying about.
There's like a group of guys that like hear what you're saying, that like take a step forward, and he kind of gives them a look and shakes his head for them to kind of pause and stop, and he stands, and you can see as he situates his belt as he stands that he has a knife and a gun on him, and he's kind of showing it off a little bit to you as he stands, some bravado. And Luther, I was trying not to make assumptions other than shit went down tonight, and then you took it to the other level. Always, always the extreme. You can leave now. You have a good night. He finishes his beer and walks away, and his like boys all like line up to basically say, "You need to leave."
Uh-oh.
Lori gives you that look of like, shit. It's one of those things that she feels safer in a pack kind of thing, than like going home and without the electricity. Like, some of her cousins are wives and, people that work for Sal and things like that. So there's kind of this vibe of like, she's trying to make the decision herself of what to do. And Martin's like awkwardly like trying
500.
to 500 what?
$500. Someone raided my house. Can't go back there right now. I came back to my house, lights off, door flung wide open, shit all thrown about.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, I know it wasn't you, dumbass.
So what, you want 500 for me to figure out who did it?
I give you $500 so my family can have a safe place to be right now.
His focus is not very high. He realizes finally what you're going after, and he kind of nods. And he's like, but you, essentially, one of his main principles, and I'm glad you picked up on it. He's a transactional person. Everything is a transaction. Everything is a negotiation. Everything is. And so once you kind of latch onto that with the thing, he's like, all right, fine. I'll give you till the end of the week.
Deal.
He smiles, and one of his men come up to you, hand out, ready for the 500.
Uh-oh.
Just gotta make one call.
Well, Lori, your cousin, you hear this other Latino woman on the phone, talking with someone angrily, and Lori's like, yeah, one second. There's this argument that happens halfway in Spanish between them two to get her off the phone. And then hands the phone over after hanging up. All right, Luther. She the way she says that, she's just like, "Where are you gonna get 500?" Is obviously what she's asking with that statement of like, "Here you go, Luther." like you guys don't have that kind of cash just on hand right now, so she knows that from the business side of things. So, nevertheless,
At this point, I would like to pull some Orpheus
dead.
debt. Yes, that's the word.
Make a call to get some monies.
Yep.
Using
And
everything today.
I kind of have to.
I mean, it's fair.
When luck is
Um,
not on your side.
Yeah.
You, with your current induction into Orpheus, you probably would have to call Mr. Sterling because
Yeah.
you probably don't have the other number yet.
Oh, yeah.
So, Mr. Sterling, it rings and hangs up, and then you dial again, and no one answers, I should say, and you dial again, and a unknown voice answers on the other side, and they basically ask for something you don't know of yet, which is like your agent identification number. You don't have any of that. So what do you tell this person on the other phone to ensure that they know who you are?
Punch the
Mm,
phone.
mm. Okay. I kind of have an idea then. I have the remnants of the coil. Need to make contact with Sterling. Need finances.
State your name.
Luther Craw.
It hangs up. And you I think it's the better part of like 15, 20 minutes. You're waiting by the phone, keeping people away from the phone as you wait, hopefully, for a response. And I think it's also in this time that Davies did his own, like, hey, has anyone heard from Luther? Hears from that, then is making his way back to the car before, like, whatever happened to him happened. After he like went to use the phone down the street, and there's eventually a ring back. Luther by the phone picks up after the first or second ring, and you hear the same kind of garbled older voice. Mr. Sterling will have a package for you. Please leave the coil, and leaves this address, and you may pick up from underneath the. Why is the word bench escaping me until now? It's just like, oh, words. You may pick up from down a block underneath the park bench. A package will be waiting for you. Funds to get you through the next few weeks. hangs up.
Right. Luther hangs up the phone, gestures people can return using it. He because this is all in the same room, right? Pretty much just a bunch of people crowded in it, right? Or
Yes.
okay. So then he would go over to Martin, would kneel down and would say, "You're not in trouble. Whatever punishment I might have had in mind, you've been through enough. That memory will be your punishment. But I'm glad you're safe now." Okay?
All right. That's all he says.
Good. He pats him on the shoulder, stands up, and to the guy who was trying to get the money out from him right then and there, he says, "I'll be right back with the money. And if you try anything, I will kill all of you. Okay?" And just walks off
Word
to
silence says there's like 30 people in the room that all hear that.
and he will go towards the specified location to retrieve the drop and make the drop.
Okay. You get lost in, the hour or two to kind of do the drop and whatnot. And definitely reminds Luther of his early years of gang life that he was in, of like hanging out on the streets waiting for someone to kind of come up and drop off the thing, and currying things and the like. I imagine. And
Yeah, he wasn't directly involved in it, but he certainly knows about it.
oh yeah. Um we will jump back then to the other three with Mr. Sterling, who have ran outside the dilapidated apartment structure in the back alleyway near, the dumpsters, to find Agent Davies on the ground and Mr. Sterling over, listening to garbled words. You guys trail up around Mr. Sterling, hunkered over Agent Davies, Agent Holt, and Agent Gable. Holt, of course, first trying to assist, and he's just like, "What's going on? Where's he? I don't know. He's mumbling. And you look at him, and he's like gaunt, and Davies is, and he's not really seizing, but he's like shifting back and forth, kind of like chaotically, and he's uh spittle coming out of his mouth, and there's this he's like holding with his right hand rather feverishly. His right hand's not moving from his forehead, kind of holding like he got smacked in the forehead or something. Is like he's in pain, and they're trying to pull off his arm, and Sterling is listening to this guy mumble, and he pulls the hand away and looks at the forehead, and the guy like screams like when the air touches the forehead, it's like acid, just like when his hand goes away. And Sterling kind of stumbles back from the reverberation from that, and then the stumble kind of stands in a shock, looking at what's happening to Agent Davies as Holt. Calm down, man. Calm down, please. Let me look at you. And the Oliver and really Oliver. I don't know if the rest of you would know. I know Malik probably doesn't, but Siegfried, I don't remember what languages Siegfried speaks.
German and giant. Jotun, I think we said.
Yes, it's not those. He is speaking in a looking at words. He's speaking in a weird, like, cryptic, broken version of like an ancient language. And Sterling seems to like understand part of what it is, and it's Latin, as Oliver can best understand. And it's kind of like, obviously, like, Agent Davies doesn't understand what he's saying. It's just kind of like word vomiting out of his mouth. And he talks in this weird language, something to the effect of, he saw the darkness in her eyes, and that darkness shook me to my soul. And Holt finally gets his hand off as he says that like a half dozen times, and you guys see this weird runic mark, something maybe akin to like an Egyptian hieroglyphic almost, but distorted, that's been kind of like, it's not cut into him, but it's definitely like sort of branded there, but it's not like branded with like carterization. It's like Oliver can clearly see like this is magic that's like adhered this to his forehead. And the guy, Agent Davies, he gets overtaken in the process of you guys watching this, and he there's really nothing you guys can do. He dies in the process of this. Like, you guys are just watching him just like go. Like, it's one of those things that's, there's not an like, and by the time you would be able to get a panacea out or something, it just like there would take no effect. Like, you know, if for those things, like, you know, I would imagine even he'd be moving so much you might not be able to even to get, you know, one in his mouth, and would be questioning how you would do it without like spilling it everywhere, you know, kind of thing. And the group of you that are watching this happen, each will lose one humanity from feeling like you've kind of caused this and kind of like couldn't do anything about it in a way, and watched this relatively, as best as you can understand, innocent soul just get taken by the reverberation of this magic that, you know, came from what you guys have dealt with, and the coils and these ciphers. And it's obvious something happened to Agent Davies related to that, and it's this marker on him. And when you guys take that breath in and look around, to kind of just like gauge who, where, what happened, you know, it's at that point you notice two things. One, Mr. Sterling is nowhere to be seen. Two, there's a young redheaded woman that is, click, just snapped a picture of all of you, and is like, sees you all looking at her, and she's like, oh fuck. He shoves the camera in her purse, and she's running as fast as she can. Does anyone try to catch up with her?
I'm just
Is
gonna be
Malik there
shocked
at all?
about the dead man.
I guess.
If not you, Agent Gable's going to. He's like, motherfucker. And he gets up and he's
Does he
I
seem
accidentally
murderous?
talked to him.
Wait, was Malik there though?
Did
Yes,
Malik
you are
come
there.
outside? Yes, that you're there.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say that fear of death would be triggered by watching another person die within the span of what, 5 minutes?
Okay. You have to spend 2 mental or spiritual strain to face that fear to not have it just take over.
I'm gonna say it's taking over, and I'm not chasing them because
Okay.
I am freaking out. Oh
can
my
still
god,
put a
another
mark.
one. This could have been avoided. Death could be avoided. Why is this happening?
Okay. So Siegfried gives chase
E.
and Agent Gable give chase. Siegfried, I would like a luck check to see
Oh
if
boy, I'm so not good at
you
that.
or Agent Gable catch up with her sooner. You're going to catch up with her. She's in heels. She's carrying a heavy purse. She has a camera. She has another bag. You're going to catch up to her. It's just who catches up to her first.
That's just stupid for secret work.
Siegfried catches up because Agent Gable got a -1. So you catch up and you're like, she's running down an alley. You go left. You make a right, and you're able to run quick enough and not get impeded like she was by some of the debris and trash in the alley. And you get in front of her, and like she like reels to a stop right in front of you, and she and then takes a breath, and her head kind of cocks to one side, and she's like, "You're Siegfried Unker! What the hell are you doing here?"
Oh, why am I so popular in America?
Seth's gonna answer that question. I rolled a luck check and she knows of you.
Everybody knows you.
Yeah, like he seems to have been recognized a lot, and he's just weirded out by it, kinda.
Niche classical rock fusion is actually
Yeah,
incredibly
yeah,
popular in New York
it
in the
is.
80s.
You're a bad agent.
Well,
Oh, I didn't know that. Good to know.
everyone that I've
Ah.
rolled has rolled positive, so it's just like,
Everybody knows your name.
and she's just like, hi, you.
Hi! Why need
she
to run
tries.
just for taking a picture? You
She
can just
turns
ask.
around and Agent Gable's like, "Give me the camera." She's like, "Oh, I don't have a camera. I don't know what you're talking about."
Girl, stop it.
This
Abel,
strange
shut
home.
up.
Abel, kick her ass.
She should not be here. She's obviously some reporter of some kind, and if we leave her with anything other than a foggy memory, I think we'll pay for it in the future.
What are we going to pay for exactly? Make it make sense.
I am not a reporter, and I don't have a camera, and I'm just on a walk. So I'm gonna go and have you two boys argue over what you think is actually the truth here.
We literally saw you take a picture and stuff a camera into it.
No, you did not.
Why are you lying?
Gaslight me?
I don't understand what you mean by that, because that term doesn't exist in the 80s. So
It does now. It does now.
But she I am simply you guys have made a lot of noise tonight. Okay? And I believe the people of Manhattan deserve to understand what's really going on here. And anyone that's not superstitious or not a dumbass realizes that there is something larger at play here than a power outage.
I hear you. I get what you're saying, but there's one big problem with that. We don't understand.
You're a
what's
musician
going on
trying to
here.
solve this?
We don't understand what the fuck is going on either.
So my point exactly. So why don't you let me walk away and I'll solve it and you all can go about doing whatever you're doing. And thank you for the information.
Or you come walk with us and we try to figure this shit all out together so we don't get two conflicting stories. Because that is how panic is made.
I will say that if I don't return to where I need to be in the morning, my job and other things, people will ask questions and be curious. Do you want kidnapping on your record, Siegfried? I just think, you're
I'm not kidnapping. I'm making you an offer.
yeah, I still don't want to go. So there is that idea. Here.
Just look. What if I pay you to keep this under wraps and keep in touch with us for the time being?
I would lose all my credibility. As yes, I
You
am.
would not because we haven't
Um,
uncovered anything. Hush, hush.
Yeah, but you're bribing me, so yeah, no.
Yeah, that's not
But
suspicious.
nobody would know.
I would, and you would, and this
Yeah, but nobody else
angry-looking man
would.
would, and then
He's
your
going to shut
family
up.
would, because like where your money has to be wired and converted from marks into dollars. So
Don't think me an idiot. I brought a lot with me. Nothing has to be wired.
she holds out her hand, like, give it to me now.
Orpheus, we need $500 more.
I can, but what guarantee do I have that you keep this hush hush?
My word? Like, what else do I have by this point?
Give me a deposit.
You're giving me a deposit. Do you understand how bribing?
I'm giving you money and you're giving me a deposit. It's mutual shush hush.
A deposit of
Simple.
what? What? I have like maybe $20 in my wallet.
Look, I never
Yeah.
said I'm smart.
She chuckles at that. So I promise. So you don't have the money. Okay, fine. Then I'm just gonna go, because otherwise I'm gonna start to scream, and yeah, and Agent Gable takes a step forward. I'll start screaming right now.
Hell, back off.
We do not need to let Siegfried.
Don't argue. Back off.
You are not an agent of Orpheus, and I do not.
I don't give a fuck. Back off.
Reporter just got a name drop.
Oh,
I'm not muted. Sorry.
No, you're very true. For those things.
I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, well, goodbye. She's gonna roll a flee check and get the fuck out.
Wait. Okay, here's the money. Take it. Just shut up, okay?
What money do you have on you?
I have like $300 right here.
Roll me a luck check, good sir.
I mean, he's filthy rich. It goes
The
to
musician.
You have been, yes, but you've been through a rocker the last 48 hours. Like,
so it could have been incinerated or something.
could have been incinerated. It could be in Jurgen's bag. There's other situations that could happen there. You get a -2. You have,
Yeah, no, I'm
you
using
have
the
$50
original.
on you right now,
Fuck
I'd
it.
say. Which is in the 80s, money is different, but okay, well,
Double their money and give them 20.
you You're not wrong. What do you do?
Double and give it to the next person.
Because she's either gonna start screaming or she's gonna start running, and that's gonna make Agent Gable do things. So what do you do?
You're using a memento mori to have the money.
I dropped my dice. Okay. Okay. Where's my pen? I dropped my pen too.
I mean, it's the most logical thing. Like, if she's gonna start running, everyone's gonna do something stupid and harmful. I don't trust him.
Okay.
I don't trust you either.
You give her $300. Sure. You pull out from your safety fund wallet that you hide in your boot, and you give her the $300, and she's like counts it. Okay.
And
I will
also,
keep my mouth shut.
here's my number. If we come across anything actually substantial that isn't just hearsay or a snapshot that could be taken off context, we'll be in touch, okay? Just please.
You're giving me your number to call you in case you find out something?
Again, I'm not smart. Give me your number too.
She writes down a number. You're not sure if it's actually her number.
Either way, here is mine as well. Just call, okay? If you want to know anything, stay in touch.
She
Hush, hush.
she skips off after that. You turn and walk, and Agent Gable kind of stops you. And he's like, "That is going to come back and bite us in the ass."
Yeah, but you would have done something stupid. Even more stupid.
Silence isn't always the wrong choice. He turns and follows you back to the others. The rest of you still kind of in shock from everything. Mr. Sterling is still nowhere to be seen.
Even though he got that 12.
And he's not here, like it's just, and so Agent Holt is just like, Sterling, damn fucking cloud. He Gable comes. Gable, come help me with Davies. Let's bring him inside. They start to drag him inside, leaving the rest of you.
Even in the shock of the death, I imagine that Oliver is still trying to figure out what just happened to him. Is he able to recognize anything about the thing on his forehead?
Roll me
A call for Eldritch.
I'm gonna supersede it just at Eldritch.
Okay. 3DF. Eldritch with focus or perception, or a secret third thing.
Focus, because you're trying to remember something.
Very good then. There we go. 7.
Just a casual 7.
Just a casual 7. Well, you want to put it up with some strain?
No, 7's good. 7's good. For where you guys are, at now.
We might have accidentally min-maxed our characters.
Yeah, a little bit. You guys, So the thing that you would have noticed no matter what you rolled was that this symbol was on the sanguine apparatus multiple times. multiple different positions along the filigree and things of what you saw earlier tonight. And the other thing that you roll for is the other thing you notice a piece of paper on the ground where Davies was laying, and as you're like thinking about the symbol, you kind of absentmindedly pick up the paper and start to unfold it, and you find an address on there somewhere in the city. You don't know where exactly off the top of your head, but you do kind of there is, I want to say the number of the address is inconsequential. Like it could be 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't matter. But the name of it is Dark Horse Street. And that word Dark Horse, whatever, like helps you kind of click towards the symbol on his head, and it reminds you of something you saw in Mr. Sterling's office the first night you went there, in kind of the back preparation room when you guys first saw the coil that he had on the table and whatnot. And there was this dark horse kind of like reference that was there, but it wasn't to the symbol. But the symbol, for whatever reason, the word dark horse, just like, and Sterling and the connection to that, like the connection to Sterling and the word dark horse, like is what like makes you, not like necessarily the word, but and it's kind of that idea of he warned you of who the dark horse is already, and you know this to be their symbol that they have used to both commandeer people, but also obviously be directly involved in whatever the coils are doing. So I bring up as a reminder that you now know Countess Varma's symbol that was created by her to create and control her thralls, if you will. You look again around for Mr. Sterling and realize from the conversations you've had earlier, Mr. Sterling ran away. He's scared. The power that the symbol presents is something that Mr. Sterling has ran away from before, and the arcana that he was worried about of Countess Varma's interaction is now proved. And you have, as best as you can understand with your passive wariness and everything, I'd say already with where it's at, he's abandoned you guys. He's scared. He's on the run. He's left you all. And you fully open the paper and you realize it wasn't from Agent Davies, but it was from Agent Sterling with the address written on it and addressed to you, Oliver, but not you. Like, you're this group.
Group.
If
Cell.
And the cell itself, and he written in this very ornate cursive from Mr. Sterling, a more particular note. Scroll. Mission complete. Thank you, my friends. Take this time to rest. Avoid the darkness. That's all it says. There's a number there. There's a number there at the end. It's not Agent Sterling's number. You don't know whose that number is. You do see a haphazard M written next to it, as this is M's number.
M.
Moriarty. God damn it.
Maybe.
No.
I died. Holy shit! What the fuck? Oh my god.
But nevertheless, the group would eventually come back inside, I imagine. Agent Holt would have left and walked down the street, informed you all that he needs to call the medical examiner's office and the coroner's office and get bodies kind of taken care of and the like. And the group now has, I guess, open reign to investigate what they want related to this day. And then when you're ready to move on from that time, we can discuss sort of brief setup before we wrap up today's session of what comes next, I guess, in simplest terms.
Are the dead
is there
bodies still
anything-
there? Sorry.
They're in the apartment, yes. Still.
But they were also taken by the other agents.
Oh, I was gonna say Malik was gonna take them somewhere, deal with them, and then mourn them and stuff. I didn't hear that they were already taken.
You
No,
could probably
Agent-
still do that. I think
you
they were
could
just
probably
taken
definitely.
inside.
Malik
They were
was
taken
going
inside
out.
and they were making arrangements for the bodies, and then they were going to load up the body in the car that they came in, the bodies, and probably take them to the morgue.
Malik also seems like the type who would be able to just like, no, I'm doing this now.
Yeah. I watched them die. They were my brothers. I knew them both. We went on a few missions together. You know, before you guys came along, at least.
Yeah. No, these were guys that you worked with on, quite a few missions.
Yeah. So Malik's like really down.
And Holt, and even Gable, like these guys you've worked with for, a couple years at this point.
Maybe a tear
Okay.
going down his cheek as he's helping.
He finished up the phone call, and then you're helping the other two kind of carry the bodies out to the car. Before
I can rest when I'm dead, is what he'd say if they try to get him away.
Yeah. Anyone else have anything they want to narrate or declare as we wrap up the day?
Could you describe what the symbol of the dark horse looks like beyond just being possibly Varma's symbol? Like, what does it actually look like?
Is it dark horse or pale horse?
Yes, but I want to look up one thing
Okay.
to add another layer.
Why is there a 12-inch slong on this symbol?
Yeah.
Taking the horse part a little too literal, aren't we?
It seems to have
The
two
founders
orbs
of Bad Dragon.
to it. Two orbs and some kind of large spire or pillar.
Mana stored
Two
in
bongs
the
at the bong!
Looks like 2 oranges and a banana. I don't know why.
It's making me hungry.
It makes me want to piss on the bong!
Okay. So
Yeah, they really make it
all
a
right,
13.
so if any of you have done, your own like look at Egyptian hieroglyphs, sometimes they're very literal. So for those things,
Is it literally a dark horse?
it is part of it is literally a dark horse, yes. That it's literally a, just a silhouette, dark silhouette of a horse that has reins on it that looks like they could connect to a chariot or a dragon or something to that. Chariot makes the most sense with Egyptian lore that you would know. Chariots, they basically invented the chariot, so it's kind of like they're one of their prized possessions in a lot of ways.
Very
But
impressive.
Was that the Roman? No, it wasn't.
Egyptians came before the Romans.
Egyptians came before, yeah. for that idea. But Greek and Egyptian were partially concurrent for the most part, but at least towards the later parts. But however, there is a trying to think of the anatomy. The hips or haunches and like the shoulder area that on horses is kind of circular, when you look at like the side view of them. Like the way the etching in the rune goes, it looks like there's extra lines there that wouldn't be there in the Egyptian, kind of hieroglyph that just talks about, the horse, and what it means, so to speak. These ones with your 7 in Eldritch knowledge, and that you rolled earlier, and the aforementioned things we've loosely discussed. Yeah, loosely discussed in some of Oliver's background. Looking at some other notes real quick. This has 2 other symbols wrapped up into it. Like both of the legs have like those circles, but they're like bridged together with a cross. That it's really subtle, but you think it looks kind of like the infinity symbol. The sideways 8 or helix or whatnot. And then, but like within those circles that form that, there's like another concentric group of circles, and those symbols, one is a half circle that kind of has like an overstretched like crescent circle for like a crescent moon, but it's like been stretched too far to almost make a full circle. And kind of like a cup or a spoon almost. Like more like a cup. And then through the central part of that half circle, like that connects and almost seems like it's draping from the silhouette of the mane of the horse, is this slash line that like goes up through it like an aggressive check mark. And then the back haunches, its belly and its haunches and its tail are kind of cupped by this very, I can't believe that's like the image that comes to my brain though. Oh, that's hilarious. Sorry. Okay. I'm gonna type it because it looks like this.
Oh, it looks like an uwu.
Yes, it looks like an but it's like,
A complicated symbol on this guy's head.
It's really, really subtle. Those 3 other symbols within the horse, but they're there, and it's like, you'd have to have like a fine-tipped razor almost to get that kind of like in there. So definitely like magical, furthermore proving that like no one could fine tip that, with a pen, or like,
on a man's head.
No tattoo artist is that good. So, for those things, even if they want to be, I who knows? I could be proven wrong, but there is how do I word this? Oliver could do some research to figure out more of what this means, other than what it looks like. It's kind of the idea. So, I love it. Things coming to fruition. So Oliver spends a little bit of time before the bodies are taken out, kind of looking over, and maybe with Peaky and Dr. Current's help, like sketching.
Yeah, redrawing it is what I was gonna say.
Yeah, so that you can have, a more clear memory of it. And then okay. Malik is doing that thing. Current's open
Yes.
there. Siegfried, is there anything you want to do to wrap up this narrative scene for today?
Nothing I can really think of. No.
I'm just taking it all in. Love it. Okay, so Luther
Yes.
then as the last idea, he's finishing the drop, getting the money, and making his way back to Sal's, pays off Sal, and then you do what?
Uh, I think yeah, go to sleep.
He goes
Yeah.
home. Okay. Valid, very valid.
Just leave it the fuck off, man.
I love
You
it. Very
know,
valid. Okay.
you need that.
I'm going. No, I'm just gonna. I like that imagery. Okay. Luther goes home and with his wife and son, and you know, decompress. Eventually, settle to a point where your son, right before sunrise, is settled and fallen asleep, and you and your wife, decompress a little bit, have a little drink or something, and then she eventually goes to the bathroom to kind of get herself situated, and you're, you know, in the bedroom getting ready for bed and, turning down the sheets and whatever else that you guys do every night, and very mundane thing, and there's a little puff of wind, and you look near your closet and you see Mr. Sterling standing there in the dark, using the shadow of the window that is far too small for him to have squeezed through to get in here, kind of to his advantage to hide himself. And he looks over and sees Lori, kind of the light in the bathroom with Lori doing her thing, and he says, "I apologize for intruding, but I must be leaving for a while. And what I've seen you accomplish in these last few days makes me want to say that I hope you will continue to help the rest of those in your cell. They will need it." He looks over at the window as the light is starting to shift from the sunrise itself. Luther, what do you do?
He says, as long as my family's safety is concerned, I'll throw myself in harm's way. Even if I have to close the gates of hell myself.
Good. There's another puff of wind, and he's just gone. Just like kind of, the drapes flutter a little bit. Lori comes out of the bathroom. Were you talking to yourself?
The man who hired me is a vampire, and he can teleport through shadows. So,
You can see if this was any other day and you didn't have this fucking hand that looked like an alien carapace thing, she would have been like, "You just shut the fuck up. You're crazy, right?" And she just is like, "Uh-huh. Okay. I think I need another drink before bed, so I'll be right back." She walks away. Gone for a moment, takes a drink, comes back in bed, and shuts the light off. And you guys,
look, are you okay with me putting myself in danger to keep you two safe?
I don't want you to, but I know you. I know what your spirit asks for. I guess I don't know. I know who you are, even if you think I don't. So I trust what you're going to do. Please, just don't hide anything else from me, and tell your vampire friend that the front door is perfectly acceptable next time. So
Right.
you can see she doesn't believe the words that came out of her mouth, but you know, that's like for the vampire part of it, but she believes the rest of it. Like she's gonna support you until there's evidence to say otherwise. And that's I think what scares Luther is you don't know what that evidence would be. And it's hard to predict something like that either with what you're dealing with. And but Lori's been through some shit. Nothing like this, obviously, but she's been through some shit. So she knows how to sling punches when she needs to, so to speak. She gets you to lay back down, and she puts her head on your shoulder, chest, and you both eventually pass out with ease, being comforted by each other's company, if nothing else, and the idea that your son is asleep, safe in the other room. With that, the rest of us find awkward places to sleep, wherever that is, on nasty. Other than Luther, everyone else is not sleeping in the most nice place for this first night. But rest easily comes to you all.